So you want to be a dungeon master?
So, you want to dungeon master.
So you want to be a DM?
Name some feats, okay? Feats.
So you want to be a DM?
That's great. We're here to help. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Justin. This week, we're sitting down with Dungeon Master, friend of the channel, humble Scarlet Witch, one of the most earnest role players I've played with, and starring in our next actual play, Kids on Jetskis, as Caleb Stitch. It's Tommy Watkins Hoskins. We're going to discuss Tommy, and then we're going to dive deep into the inner workings of teamwork. What does it mean to be a part of a collaborative story, especially for players? We're about to find out. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here.
Now, let's jump into the episode. But first, always gotta be but first. Tommy, you were kind enough to donate to an incredible cause at the end of 2025. And as a result of that, we were able to create the College of Surf Bard. So I'm sure our friends over on the Patreon are going to be very happy about that, because that idea would never have come to us. You said that you liked bards, you like water as a like that was like a theme that you wanted to include in there. And so the first thing I thought of was Jack Johnson and just like surfer beach music, being from the Jersey Shore, and like picturing myself listening to like 311 in an open Jeep on the way to the beach. What kind of adventure, and this is for everybody, but also Tommy, what kind of adventure or encounters would you create for your character of this subclass?
I believe in my mind, right? This subclass definitely has like I wouldn't say grandiose teachers, but like his teachers are like those who sit near the water, who take their time in the beach, probably have like a nice little beach shack somewhere, who come out and greet the day and stuff by stretching, doing yoga inside of the sand and sun, and jumping in the water and stuff. I would definitely make a like almost like a mystery deep dive into like a cave on like this near the beach, or even figuring out how to make them go underwater and discovering this beautiful city underwater that for some reason you can breathe under the water. I don't know, it's weird, but it's a bard and you get to have fun with bards.
Yeah,
I love bards. I'm obviously a bard main, so I loved this subclass, and I love any twist on performance-based magic. For me, first of all, as soon as you're like a guy on the edge of the beach with the beach shack, I immediately thought of, do you guys remember the movie Surf's Up? The
Oh my
penguin
God.
surfing movie?
absolutely.
I'm picturing the
love
like
that
older
movie.
guy
Oh yeah.
who's like, you're doing it wrong. Just like he's like making his own surfboard. So like, I'm gonna take Tommy's idea, I'm gonna just like twist it slightly. I'm gonna say I would do something like a island hopping adventure where you have to like craft your own canoes and or sea craft, and like upgrade it along the way, and like it could take damage or something, and then each island has its own ecosystems that make them unique but also connected. I don't know. But also, I think it would truly be like, if we're going for Jack Johnson and like good vibes and stuff, it's interesting to play with the idea of like danger and how they would respond to it.
I don't
Taylor?
know.
I've got an idea. And I think it's silly. The world's most annoying pirate. They absolutely hate that they have this bard on the ship, but god damn it, they cannot survive without him. So he's on the on the ship, and he's playing all these really chill Jack Johnson vibe songs while they're trying to take over another ship. There's cannons flying, and it's just red,
Making
red
banana
wine.
pancakes.
just
Yeah.
playing on it, like little like the C drum thing and stuff, and just
Mhm.
vibing out while
Yeah.
a cannonball zooms by him. He's like, "Good vibes, man. Good vibes."
God, that's so fun. It really is just such a fun character idea. Exploring what that means. Because obviously the College of Surf one, like mechanically speaking, there was like obviously a connection of good vibes and being able to help out other people around you, just like feel good. But there's also the reason it's called College of Surf Bard as opposed to just like College of Acoustics or like something was because like there is a connection to water. You do get certain mechanics that allow you to like get a swim speed or like control water and different spells. So that's a lot of fun. But I want to talk more to Tommy. So let's get into the meat of the episode. And before I do that, unfortunately, I do have to talk about the Patreon gang. Check out the Patreon. It's so fucking cool. There's so many sick ass things on there, gang. Amazing homebrew like the College of Surf Bard. You can get access to that for just $2 a month or just being at the Wormling Dragon level. Why did I say dragon weird just then? Anyway,
Wormling
meat of the
Dragon.
episode. Yeah, I did say it weird.
Don't worry, we're not gonna let you get away with that.
I don't know if you guys I mean, I know Taylor, but Tommy, I don't know if you have any siblings or anything like that. I have a sister, and she has conditioned me that if I fuck up, like speaking wise, that I have to immediately point it out before somebody else beats me to the punch. Because she'll point it out. Like if I am talking and I just kind of run a train through it and just keep going, she'll point it out and be like, I can't believe you did that. And so now I do it in public with other people who are much kinder than she is.
I think I started doing that myself. Like I've like maybe it's like little TMI and stuff, but like I've been on medication for like since I had like surgery, but it messes with memory and everything else a little bit and stuff. Thank God it's been going down because I'm like on less medication. Hallelujah. But the medication causes me to like mess up words sometimes and stuff. And I have caught myself several times. I was messing up the word like translocate several times in a row and stuff. I called it translocate, translocate. And my friend sat there and was like, I think you just need to get off, buddy. I think you just need to like get off and like not speak again.
Well, speaking of existential dread, what an incredible segue, Tommy. I have done a little bit of research. I know that you're quoted having said that your favorite part of DMing is causing your players, quote unquote, existential dread. Do you care to elaborate?
No.
I want to give you the platform to be able to really
no
respond.
elaboration. I said what I said.
It's a gotcha journalism. Sorry.
Okay. I like because my specialty when it comes down to DMing is like heartfelt moments, but also a little bit of like reaching into what makes my players tick and stuff and bringing it to life in our games. So when I say existential dread, I truly mean like I'm going to give you decisions and put you in middle of storylines that is going to make you have to challenge yourself and challenge what you believe is the correct decision, not only for you as you know as a person, but also for your character. I think the one decision that like I always like hark back to is like during a Western campaign that I was DMing. Um, Everyone finally got back together after having not our players but like our characters after like finally coming back together after being a year apart from each other, finally relearning each other, remending relationships. Our One of my players had this person who he who was essentially their brother, and he was kind of like not well in the head, and if they made a decision beforehand, they could have saved this brother, but they didn't. So this brother became the BBEG for them,
Ooh.
like for the entire story and stuff. And at one point in the story, after everyone's like gotten back together and everything's looking great and stuff, they just got done with this huge battle. He appears because he has a I'm messing up the word, translocator spell. He has a translocator spell on this player, and he appears inside the same room with him and everyone else, and he punches a hole in one of my other players, and then punches a hole inside of the NPC player character that I had. These two
Whoa.
players are essentially his older brother and his father figure, and he threw a gem at him and told him to choose.
Like which one to save?
Yep.
Oh boy.
And
Yeah, that's like
he
a video
chose.
game. That's
Yeah,
fucking Resident Evil right there. What's
yeah.
the two women name at the end of number 7 or 8? Where it
I
was like
just watched a
Mia
video
or
of that.
whatever.
I just watched a video of that
Mia
one.
and Zoe in
Yeah,
7.
where
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
which one do you save? It's truly just like that. It's crazy. So
yeah.
you're trying to not just cause existential dread to the PCs, the characters in the story, but also to the players who are
Just
controlling those
in
PCs.
general.
Yes, yes, yes. It
Layers
was
of dread.
a oh yeah, it was a very fun time and stuff. But afterwards and stuff, he made his decision, but then like I made the guy bring he brought his brother back as well, and he told him like I just wanted to see what you would do, and he left. And and everyone just sat there like,
Woof.
oh, you are dirty. And I'm just like, I am so sorry. We had to take time and like afterwards be like, all right, is everyone okay? Have like a little aftercare session
Mm-hmm.
afterwards and stuff. So I
No
know
doubt.
that things can get heavy.
No doubt. Yeah, that is outrageous, Tommy. That's so fun. Um, now tell me, I what is your favorite thing would you say about Steven Universe?
Mm.
Sorry, Taylor's looking for a segue somewhere. I forgot it.
Oh, I mm, I think I was gonna say the music because I really love the music, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's fusion, and I think it's the concept of fusion itself and stuff. Because
Mm-hmm.
because Garnet saying that she's not just a person, she's a conversation. I love that. That
Ooh.
is my favorite thing about fusion.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really beautiful. Yeah. I haven't seen like the entire show. I'm actually not even that far into it.
I haven't
I
seen
should
one
be
episode.
much further. Taylor, I was worried about that. I'm so sorry, Tommy. I apologize on Taylor's behalf.
It's okay. I'll leave it. It's fine.
No, Taylor, please. We must teach you. It's so good. It really is. It's one of those shows that I've seen adults be into, and I'm like, okay, there's something there, right? Because it's like a show that like almost like Bluey, how it's like it's made for children, but it is got such a extra layer of writing and like a profundity to the
Hmm.
concepts and the themes where it is so much deeper than it appears on its surface. And then like
Adventure
you watch
Time.
it like Adventure Time
I
almost,
fucking
where
love
you're like,
Adventure Time.
holy
Oh
shit,
yeah.
this is like yes, a child could enjoy this and not get the extra layer, but like I'm getting the extra layer. And that's how Steven Universe comes across to me. And so have you ever used Steven Universe as like an inspiration point of like planning a D&D thing or like an encounter in a thing?
I wouldn't say necessarily use it to plan an encounter or anything. I've used Steven Universe more so to um plan relationships and interactions with my characters.
Oh, okay.
Um I like because my players love they love their NPCs. And so some of my NPCs are kind of based around different characters from Steven Universe and how they would react. Wow. Re- react. Um like I had a character who would act like Ruby at the time and stuff.
Okay.
Because Ruby is very um I won't say that she's like dumb, but she's very simple-minded. She's like mission first. And when things don't go as planned, don't really know what to do and stuff. I've made a character who acts just like them, and I thank God that um Rebecca Sugar made those characters, because like now I have like point of reference for them and stuff. Because most of the characters that I play, I usually look to reference some type of like media, that way that I know how
Oh yeah.
to act as the character.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about it all the time about how we use so many different like IP and things to draw inspiration from, whether it's like the theme of, or a character of, or the setting, or even just like the feeling. Like we referenced Mission Impossible a ton for our It's a Small World campaign, but like there wasn't a ton of like heist scenes. There's never like breaking into a place. There's like a little bit of stealth because you're trying to avoid some of the humans, but like it never felt like a one-to-one Mission Impossible. It was
Yeah.
more like the feeling of Mission Impossible, that like edge of your seat, like at any moment something crazy is about to happen. Like that kind of feeling of like doing your own stunts. But so we love it when people use not generative AI like ChatGPT for inspiration, because there's so many things around us that you can just be like, oh, let me just pull from this, right? Like, here's an easy thing I can pull from. Whether it's like just the concept of fusion and being like, okay, Dragon Ball Z also has that kind of thing. You can just say a dragon and a lich fusion, boom. We did it, like, and I just did
That's
it. It's
terrifying.
so easy.
That's
It is
actually
terrifying.
I
What if it
think
was a
I'm now
beholder?
going to make a dragon and a lich and stuff. This is gonna be great.
But they have to do a little dance first and like and touch.
I'm gonna make
They do it wrong, and
dragon
it just turns into a fat dragon with little tiny wings. Can't
That'd be
fly
awesome.
anymore.
I think isn't there? I don't know what it is, but I think I've seen something like that where like
In How to
the
Train Your
dragon.
Dragon.
Yes, it like blew up and it like tried to fly, but it was just bouncing.
I do love dragons. So Tommy, you're a dungeon master. How often have you used dragons, now that it's just we just mentioned dragons, and now I'm just curious?
Ooh, okay. So my first ever campaign that I ever made and stuff didn't have a dragon inside of it. Funny. Then the second campaign, which is the Western campaign, it had a few dragons inside of it. But um they were based around this TikTok creator, and I need to find their name again. But they made dessert dragons, and the dragons
Oh,
inside of there were all based around there. And the specific one that the party would go and talk to a lot and stuff, because she became the head of the town brothel and stuff. She was the oh, what was she? She was the it was like fall related.
pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice dragon. Yes. Thank you so much. She was the pumpkin spice
I'm white.
dragon.
I was always gonna get pumpkin spice, Tommy.
Oh, oh, well, I didn't say it, so
You didn't
I
have
am in
to.
the clear.
You didn't have to.
But yeah, she was the pumpkin spice dragon. Beautiful, like tall. She had horns and stuff because she's had her human form. She had beautiful, like dark skin with like these orange hints and like freckles and this beautiful red hair. And her breath weapon was like a dust of pumpkin spice, but she could also use her weapon to create an actual drink of pumpkin spice latte and give that to people. And I loved her. She was
Mhm.
great.
That's so fun. I think I know exactly who you're talking about because I remember seeing the dessert dragons popping up. The art for them and everything was so cute. I think it's Scarlet. I think I've spoken to them too. I'll on the YouTube, it'll show up right here. And if it doesn't, message me and say, "You lazy bastard, you didn't even put it. You said you were gonna put it, you didn't. Call me out." Okay. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. But in our current campaign, currently I am playing. Well, my NPC player character is a dragonborn who is the son of the Mercury dragon and a time god. Got weird and stuff.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
Whoa.
it's funny because like those characters are from our original campaign and stuff. So his parents and one of his my other players who plays his sister are the son and daughter of an original character from our first campaign and stuff. So
That's cool.
we're just continuing down the line.
Mhm.
I love that. I love interconnecting things. We've done it a lot in our home campaigns and like our actual play is like there have been the teensiest Easter eggs of like the possibility of a So You Want to Be a DM universe because
Yeah.
like totally different time periods and different worlds of just being like, I'm from Sphinx City, being like, where's that? And it's like, that's a different campaign.
Mhm.
It's just like so silly, but I love stuff like that. Okay, so now I went pretty deep back into your TikTok account, my friend. And there's a lot of singing videos I noticed. I think
Ooh.
you have a great voice. What is your
Ah.
go-to karaoke song and why?
Ooh. Hmm. Okay. 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 I'm stuck between You Remind Me from Usher. You remind
Okay.
me of a girl. Yeah, that song.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
an old song, but I
That's
think it's like
Usher.
it's my first thought. Because I think that was like one of the first songs that I learned how to sing when I was a kid. Um
Man, early Usher. Holy shit, man.
Early Usher and
Wow.
stuff. One of my first ever crushes.
I had the Confessions part 2 like memorized. Wow. That's a
Same,
flash.
same.
That's
I can't even
back.
fault you. Same. Um, but I think the other one, I think the one I would actually go to is what's it, Adele, Hometown.
Adele is you don't even need to know the song. Just to know that it's an Adele song is like that's intimidating. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's
I remember I found Adele when I was young, and I was like, I think it was like, what song was playing and stuff. Um,
Rolling on the Deep or
no, it was before Rolling in the Deep and stuff. It was from
oh,
her first album. She made a video for it, um, and everything where people were like, it was a car crash and she was walking, and then like people were like laid out on the sidewalk, but then they started walking like while laying down on the sidewalk and then dancing with
mm,
each other on the
whoa.
sidewalk and stuff, but then like slowly would also just like kind of form back into like they're dead on the sidewalk form.
That's
Pavement.
trippy.
Pavement, that's what it was.
Okay. Interesting. That is fun though. So you're trying to really sing.
Mm.
Yes, I
So
do
is it
have the
because
love for
those songs
singing.
have like sentimental value? They have like they have touch points.
Yeah, yeah. I think when I learn a song and stuff, it's usually for sentimental values. You
Hmm.
remind me, of course, is the first song that I learned, but Adele's music often, hits close to home. Like just she knows how to like really like hit the cat. She knows how to really hit the heart. And I think
Hmm.
Hometown is one of those songs just like um like it's all about going back home, um, walking around town, realizing that a lot hasn't changed and stuff, and you've changed, but this this place that you are from, it's still one of the places that made you who you are, and it's a beautiful place to you, even though it
Hmm.
may just be like a normal little place and stuff. Like I come from Chicago. I walk around Chicago all the time and stuff. And good
Mhm.
Lord, it's sometimes tiring, but I know if I ever left and stuff, Chicago is just always going to be in my heart. And if I ever came back just so I can like come see it and stuff, it would be so amazing just to walk around again.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I remember I in college did for spring break my junior and like third and fourth year.
Mhm.
I went to Chicago, and I remember we weren't supposed to because we went as a student group kind of thing,
Mhm.
and you weren't supposed to go off on your own. But there was definitely a couple times where I would sneak off a little bit and just like nothing crazy. I would go like a block away from the hostel that we were staying in and just like go to a pharmacy. But I remember I would put headphones on, and I was listening to at the time I was listening to Arcade Fire, which is like a weird indie cut. But like for those who are familiar, just in Chicago at night in the city, Arcade Fire in the headphones, I felt like I was in a music video every time. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. We still listened to Kanye at that time, and there were certain songs that were pretty ripping, but not anymore. I
Oh,
can't. I choose
you
not to,
know,
but
the good non-problematic days.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Uh so for me, I have to say, for when it comes to karaoke, number one, I've only done it a couple of times, and the one time I trusted a friend, I've said this story on the pod before, but like, uh, I let them choose, and they chose "Donka Shane" by Wayne Newton.
Oh,
Um, I don't know if you're familiar with that song, Tommy. It's
more so
super
saying
famous.
oh, for the name Donka Shane. I've never
Yeah,
heard of that.
German for thank you. The song
And you
goes,
know the lyrics now too.
Donka Shane, darling, Donka Shane.
I
And
now
that's
know
it.
the song.
You
Okay.
now, yeah, you
I
now know
now
the song. Yep.
And it's bad. No one sang with us because no one knew the songs. No one sang with us. And then right after we were done, I had friends who went up right after us and they did that song, What Would You Do by City High. That one song that's like, what would you do if your son was at home, sitting all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry?
yeah.
Everybody knew the words. We were in Baltimore. Everybody knew the words to that one. No one's singing Wayne Newton with us. It was ridiculous. It was hilarious though. It was an absolute blast. But I will never let somebody else pick the song ever again, I think.
It's
For
probably a good
me,
call.
yeah, I'm thinking more about trying to get the audience involved when I'm trying to pick a song, I think. For karaoke specifically, because I'm not the
Understandable.
greatest singer. I like singing alone in the car. Then I'll pick a song that I can belt to. That's when I want to listen to like Adele, is like when I'm alone in the car on a drive and I can really let it rip, you know?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Like listening to
What
like
type of song?
Crazy by
Yeah.
Gnarls Barkley. Let
Oh,
me go. Let me cook alone
oh,
in a car
yes,
in private
yes,
With nobody.
with
yes.
nobody around and no
Preferably on
recording.
an empty stretch of road.
I remember when Adele's newest album came out, we were all sitting there because like she's the emotional one and stuff. We love her and everything. I told my my boyfriend like hey, So when Adele's album come out, we're gonna have to break up so I can like really get into it, like really,
I
really
gotta feel
feel
it.
the emotion
Yeah.
and
Like
stuff. Sit in
method
the
acting
car.
before listening to an album. Yeah.
Exactly that.
Hell yeah.
I haven't heard Gnarls Barkley in such a long time. You have like
Yeah.
opened up a memory of mine.
Uh, Tommy, what do you think you would do with a like oops all bards situation? How would you make it your own?
Okay.
The world's
And
most
would you
annoying
require
pirate.
singing?
Them. Ooh, okay. There is a couple ways that I can think of. Um, if we're going a more like a serious campaign, um, I would make it so that they um all go to the same school. Um, you know, each one have their own like lessons, colleges and everything, for them to learn, but then they learn about like these mystical instruments and stuff, and that are supposed to maybe give them give like the holders of the instruments like insane power, or maybe even like a grandiose wish or something of that nature. And something bad happens at the school, and then they have to go out and either find these instruments, um to very, very what's been called it, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening like esque, like go on
Oh.
the journeys to like find the instruments
Hmm.
and stuff, and then play them all together and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Building an
So
orchestra.
But you got to
building an
learn the
orchestra.
Ballad of the Windfish.
Yeah, something like that.
I like
um
that.
I
I think
yeah.
that's fun.
if we're going not serious, they are all the half children of the same father, and they are going to find him.
I like that. I like that. I like that a
That's
lot.
funny.
Yep.
That goes into a
Papa.
different theme of what a bard is.
Yeah.
That's playing into a stereotype of bard that I don't prescribe to.
Like I said, it is a
I
not serious
No,
one.
that's so funny. I've thought about this a lot because like one of the ways that my brain immediately goes to is I always go to what I think is what my brain at least thinks is the most like almost cliche answer, so that I can maybe dance around it or like try to subvert it or something. And my brain immediately goes to Battle of the Bands when I think of Oops All Bards. And so then then I have to in my brain be like, how do I make it different? How do I make it my own? And I'm still honestly trying to figure it out. But I have other ideas. Of course, K-pop Demon Hunters came out and it was like,
Oh.
woof, how do I do this without cultural appropriation the fuck out of it? And so it's like, so what I've done is not do it because it's not my story to tell, not in that way at least. Like it would be if I were to do a white version, it would be like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. And at that point, 90s pop would be funny.
But see,
But
all online, people quite literally said like all these other like girl groups and stuff were more than likely, a version of like the K-pop Demon Hunters, but like for different areas of like the
mhm.
world. Like they said
Mm-hmm.
Destiny's Child was a
Oh, that's
version of the
such a
K-pop
good
Demon
one.
Hunters
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, but
That
well, we
actually
got
would be
we got
so
that one.
fun to explore because what if the fourth secret Destiny child is actually like the demon before she broke off in the group?
She
Oh, that
broke
would
off
be
for a
funny.
reason.
Dude,
She
I
broke off for a
love Destiny's
reason.
Child. Oh my gosh. Okay.
See, now Beyonce is holding the Hong Moon up like by herself.
Um, okay, so before we get into actually talking more specifically about TTRPGs and all that kind of stuff, um, Tommy, I want to ask you same question we've been asking everybody so far: is a TTRPG that you think deserves more love? Is there a TTRPG out there that you're like a big fan of that you're like, man, not enough people are playing this. I don't see it in actual plays. Like anything that comes to mind?
Hmm. There is one. Um, I haven't gotten a chance to actually play it just yet. But I love the concept of it. It's called Orbital Blues.
Oh, that sounds very familiar.
Oh yes, it is a what's the word? It's a cowboy space cowboy
Mm,
inspired um TTRPG, but like it's very sad and stuff. Like it because like the whole idea of like Orbital Blues is that it kind of like goes off of like your version of like trauma or your blues and stuff, and you have your like music that's connected to you, and you can have like a swan song when you have enough trauma and stuff, and your actual like theme song and stuff, because you get to choose your theme song and stuff. Your
that's
theme song
dope.
starts playing during the your big moment and stuff, but you can decide to do whatever you want to do, whether it's like make a last stand or a move, or things of that nature that's just like grandiose and stuff. My friend Diamond um sent it to me, and they said that they wanted to play it, and I've been wanting to play it ever since. I just haven't had the opportunity to play it just
It
yet.
sounds awesome. I'm looking at
Mhm.
it now on tabletop bookshelf.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it is
looks
so
awesome.
fun. The idea of it is like Cowboy Bebop mix. Well, no, just Bebop. It's
See you
freaking
later,
a
Space
little
Cowboy.
more trauma. Yeah, I really do want to be able to uh play it one day, sooner or later. But
Yeah.
all in due time.
All in
All in
due
due time.
time. There's so many games out there. There's so many TTRPGs. It's so hard. But let's talk a little bit about Kids on Bikes first.
Yes.
Tommy, before our actual play, before our sessions of playing it together, did you have any experience with Kids on Bikes before that?
No, I had absolutely zero experience.
Amazing. What was it like learning the system in terms of your experience with other systems and stuff like that? How did you
Uh,
find it?
this system is actually very easy to learn. I think I've heard about kids on bikes from Dimension 20. I believe
Yes.
they did it at one point. Um,
Yeah, they have a couple seasons that are either this system or like Kids on Brooms, like for the Misfits and Magics that
yeah,
Abriga
that's the
Iyengar
one.
did.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's like very similar, if not,
Yeah.
they're both at Hunters Entertainment. So
So I learned a little bit about of kids on bikes from there, but overall I did not know anything about it. But in terms of learning it, it was really easy and really seamless to learn it, because it's very what's the word, role play forward. Um it does a lot with trying to figure out like, all right, you have these specific dice for these specific things, like your grit, your for some reason my
oh
brain only
gosh,
remembers grit.
Brawn, Brains,
Yeah,
yeah,
bronze,
Fight,
brains and
Flight,
stuff.
Charm,
Um
yeah.
so it has like these very specific dice for it and stuff, makes it easy for you, and you just roll off of that. And I like it, maybe it's because it's like it's very it seems like it's very much meant for like a younger audience and up and stuff. So they made it easier and stuff. But I thank God they did, because for me, as a person who's at that point only played D&D, this made getting into another TTRPG just so seamless.
I'm so glad to hear that because that's definitely what I think is the draw of Kids on Bikes is that it's coming to cross as to me as like such an easy system to pick up and learn.
Mhm.
Especially like if you come in with D&D experience, then presumably, depending on that level of experience, you already like know the shape of the dice. So then when I say your brains is a D8, and then it's easy because you can use D&D as a stepping off point of being like, brains is kind of like your intelligence. Charm is kind of like your charisma, but also an insight check. Like it's easy to, I've done that a lot. But also I love how, to me, it feels like Kids on Bikes because of how lax it is and how difficult. Obviously, Taylor will prove me wrong every time I say something like this slander that I'm about to throw out here. Taylor will find a way to prove me wrong. Even though Kids on Bikes makes it hard to min-max and to optimize characters, I think that because it is like that, because it is hard to min-max and like truly just quote unquote break the game. I don't love that phrase, but whatever. That it forces you to get really creative when it comes to role play. Jessica, please. Goodness gracious. And I think that it is so fun how open and freeing it kind of feels, both from the DM's position and as a player. Although I don't think I've ever been a player. Now that I think about it, in this game specifically.
Two traits as a player to break Kids on Bikes: you need loyal and you need prepared, and you can pretty much break any situation.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see it.
I do. Jessica,
Cool under pressure is another good one too.
she just wants to be part of the podcast.
She does. She touches buttons. Touches so too many buttons. She's pushing my buttons right now. I'll tell you that. Tell you that much for free. Anyway, goodness gracious. So, Tommy, in our Kids on Jetskis actual play coming out March 19th, you play Caleb Stitch. Tell us a little bit about who he is and why is he so helpful? Because today's episode, in addition to meeting you, or like I already know you, but Taylor and our audience, we're also here to talk about teamwork as it relates to collaborative storytelling and TTRPGs. So who is Caleb Stitch and how does he play into that role? Because that's why I wanted this topic to be for you. Because Caleb Stitch, when I think of him, I think of like, not only is he going to the length, if teamwork is a spectrum and on one far end of it is like jumping on grenades, and that's kind of where Caleb Stitch is in my head. Caleb Stitch is truly like, not only will I go to bat for you and like I won't snitch on you, I'll jump on the grenade. Like I'll say it was me. It's kind of the vibe I pick up. So please, who is Caleb Stitch?
Oh my god. Caleb Stitch is a 14, 15 year old kid who has he doesn't get to be a kid too often because he's always helping his family. He's a really kind person because of the fact that he deals with his family so much. He's always working hard to make sure his mom and dad have money for bills and stuff. He has a little brother who he also takes care of. But he's so for his friends at this point in time because like he's never truly had friends, and his way of feeling like he is worth having those friends is to be as helpful as possible. I may have sprinkled in a little bit of myself inside.
Whoa. Yeah.
Kid.
No, I mean, I think everybody can relate to that to some degree, is like the kind of dopamine hit you get when you're being helpful to somebody and they're like, oh, thank you so much. And like, and then you're like, why am I doing this for the gratitude of it all? Or am I doing this for the right reasons? Because then if you take it to the other side of things, I mean, I think we also maybe have had encounters with people in our lives. For me, grandma, what the fuck, who do something very nice and then 5 months later hold it over your head like a receipt, and they're like, now pay me back. And you're like, whoa. I thought this was a generous act. Now I see it's transactional. Now that's not
Exactly.
Caleb, but like you could
Nowhere.
see how it could go too far
Mhm.
and go the other way. That's in real life. In a TTRPG, actually, that sounds kind of interesting to be like, remember when I helped you? Pay
Remember
me
when I did this
back.
thing for it? So like,
I lied to the
mm.
Kingsguard for you. Help me out.
We're playing that Ivory Tower game right now. That game is very much like that.
Oh
It
my
is
gosh.
literally
Tell me about it.
all transactional.
Oh,
It's
oh,
very political, lots of
Yeah.
shaking and moving, deal making and backstabbing. It's very, very interesting.
this
It's a lot of
sounds like
fun.
fun. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, Ivory Tower on itch.io from Rift Kid Games. Highly recommend. We're working on an actual play, but that won't be for months.
Yeah.
So, um, so in relation to helping, so we know now why Caleb, from a backstory standpoint, was
Mhm.
helping their friends and stuff. There was maybe like there's the one side of it of like doing the right thing and just like helping your friends, but then there's also this deeper meaning behind it of this motivation to earn friendship almost, which is so sad. But
He's my little trauma boy. I love him.
absolutely, absolutely, it can be fun to play that role sometimes. Um, what was your favorite part about playing Caleb?
Ah, I think my favorite part about him and stuff is specifically the interactions with you while you were playing Liam. Favorite interactions, possible.
Uh, Playing Tanner?
Tanner. Oh my god, I called him Liam. Liam's
No, it's
another
cool.
character
Liam
from
comes
a
up.
whole entire what's for me.
Liam
Uh,
is what Liam is what Alex's character keeps calling Adrian's character Leo, and she calls him Liam sometimes because she's the popular girl and she's like, whatever. Liam, Leo.
yeah. Your interactions with Tanner.
Oh, I
Because
agree.
you
Those were
playing
so
Tanner
fun.
was like absolutely great, but having the opportunity to see Caleb, you know, be a big brother, but also, he understands that he understands that his little brother's like mind does not work the same as like everyone else's and stuff. So he does not treat him like a kid. He gets on his level and, actually, treats the conversation like an actual conversation. You know, even though I say that as, at one point we all pretended to go into his office. Invisible door and
Yeah,
everything.
like
Window was
make
broken several
believe. Taylor, it was
times.
so cute. You should see it. I put sound effects for the door opening every time. Because then there's one point where an NPC comes in and they're like, "Come here, come see with us. You have to go through the door though." And without skipping a beat, that NPC is like, "Sorry, it's locked. Do you have the key?" And then I forget who it is, but one of the players is like, "Oh, it's a push, not a pull." Oh, thank you so much. And then you hear the door open. It's like they're just like appeasing this like 10-year-old who's like
That's so funny.
sitting at a picnic table,
I love that.
and they're like, "Okay, this is your office."
I love
Like
that
it's
so
so
much.
fun. It's such a fun season. And so I love that too. Tanner was such an absolute blast to play, and I'm planning on putting his fun facts across the overlays throughout the show.
Oh my god, yay.
But so what I noticed is that obviously you're playing a character where you could make the argument I was just playing my character if I were to ask you like there were moments where you as Caleb would pull players aside or rather their characters but be like hey I'm gonna talk to this character privately or something like that, or there would be times where you like two characters would be having a moment that would get either heated or sad or important in some way, and you would ask to make a check to like eaves peep onto that conversation a little bit, and then you would come in and help out in some way. There were always opportunities for you to share the spotlight or pull people into the spotlight or do something in some regard to like help uh, connect to from player to player. Now, like I said, you could make the argument of like I was just playing as my character, which is valid, but is there something behind that as Tommy for like why you think it's important for players to do that, or like what was your intention?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit of trauma. um, I do I did come from a household where I always had to listen and stuff. I've only like a few years back, only recently stopped having one ear off of my from my headphone and stuff to listen around inside of my own home
Mhm.
and stuff
Mm,
because like it was one of those situations where I had to make sure that I knew everything that was going on inside the house so that I can navigate and walk through that sort of minefield and stuff. So like I also at the time learned to do the same with friends and stuff, listen in onto what's going on with them, conversations that they were having even though I probably wasn't supposed to and stuff. And if they needed me, I would be there in whatever capacity I was able to. I could do it a little bit better as Caleb, since um, with with Caleb having this like small group of friends, um, he's able to be like, okay, I heard that. That sounds distressing. Let me see if I can offer some type of like comfort or advice, some help, anything to ease whatever's going on with them because I want to be helpful. I want to make sure that they are okay.
hmm
Because if they're not okay, I'm not okay. He bases his like mood and personality a lot on whether or not the entire group is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was a little bit of the I know the stereotype is like the mom of the group is like the phrasing that sometimes gets thrown into that role.
Yeah,
Um, although I'm not a
the
fan of gendering
caretaker,
it, but you know
the
what
the
I mean.
caretaker.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
caretaker is a much better way of putting it. Like the adult sometimes in the group, sometimes being like, everyone's got their juice boxes. We've all gone to the potty before we leave, right? Because I don't want to stop. uh,
I don't want to stop him. We have to stop him when he's very upset.
so I think it's like I love it as a DM when players are initiating their own scenes. You know what I mean? Like, cause we've all had probably like a table where like you're like, okay, it's nighttime. You guys can get around the campfire and take a long rest. And there's a part of you because you've watched actual plays or whatever, maybe you've heightened it in your own head or romanticized it, where you're like, man, I hope two of them go on watch together and have a meaningful conversation. And so rarely does that happen. And so sometimes you have to, as the DM, kind of initiate things a little bit. So I always love it when players, and this is something we'll talk about in a second, a little bit later, but this is something I find about people who have DM experience jumping into the player seat, but we'll touch on that later. So, how do you think that players should make those connections happen? Or like, how do you, because it's like it doesn't happen in a vacuum, I think, right? Like obviously you, Tommy, decided Caleb was going to have these qualities and for these reasons. But if your fellow players didn't like tete-a-tete with you, if they didn't like respond in some way, shape, or form, whether it was the way that Alex did with a little bit of friction because of the relationship, or if it was a way more like Tina or Leo, the characters' names played by Dan and Adrian. Lots of names being thrown around, it gets confusing. But uh yeah, how do you initiate those scenes? Like how do players who want to do things like that, how should they start? How do we do that?
I think the biggest thing that you want to make sure that you do is always have like an outline of your character and stuff because like Kids on Bikes once again wonderfully does it wonderfully by giving you like an outline of a specific trope of a character and stuff.
Mhm.
And Caleb's was the young provider. In giving that, he has certain strengths, like, well, they have suggested strengths and stuff, like easygoing, protective, skilled and stuff. Some things that Caleb all is and stuff, like sometimes blunt, envious. I don't think he's greedy and stuff. 'Cause I'm looking at the book and stuff. But self-pitying is definitely one of the things that he's very much is like. So like I have this outline of who my character is and stuff. Um, and once I see who my I want to call them co-conspirators and stuff. Once I see what the rest of the table and my now team um what they are going for with their characters and stuff, my brain just automatically be like, okay, how is it that how can I as this character, as Caleb, play off of this character and stuff? And like for instance, Leo, um for when he started coming on and stuff, Caleb sat there was just like, oh my god, I don't want to deal with it, because he was like the first person that Caleb had an interaction with and stuff. So
Hmm.
Caleb was just sitting there, just like, I really don't want to like deal with this because this is like a lot and stuff. But as Caleb continued and stuff, as Leo continued and Caleb got closer to him and stuff, he started acting more of like an older brother. It's like, are you okay? Are you like, is
Hmm.
everything all right with you and stuff? Because like that relationship changed as Leo started to develop more and stuff. So I think it's good. It's very important for characters to like develop alongside of each other and stuff. You can't just stay in like
Absolutely.
one single place like for an entire campaign. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Yeah, there's so many times in that show that I can think of really meaningful. It felt like, and I don't know if this is because Kids on Bikes is role play heavy or what have you, but it felt like there were so many opportunities for players to speak in smaller groups. Like the party splitting, yes, there was normal party splitting that you would find in any TTRPG, but there was also party splitting like you guys are all together, and then it was just like, hey, me and this person are just going to walk over to the side of this room and we're going to talk privately for a second. Like, and I loved all of the times that was able to happen, especially because you guys are high schoolers and not
Mhm.
like adventurers who are like grown ass adults with like bigger fish to fry. You guys had the opportunity to like talk about kind of silly things or like mundane things, or just like the fact that Iridessa knows who Ash and Misty are. Like, why does she know Pokemon? She's the popular girl.
All sitting there just
She knows
like
Pokemon?
hold on, like Pokemon, like exactly what these. Hold on.
Yeah, it's so funny. Um, but I also think so. You're a player. You're not in the scene. You're seeing two players and they're interacting. You, as this third party, are in this interesting opportunity because maybe there's some way that you're like, oh, I can enhance this scene or I can add something to this scene. But at the same time, you have to kind of be like, is it worth it for me to interrupt this scene? Like,
Mhm.
when should I jump in? Am I stealing spotlight or am I adding to the spotlight? And it's like, obviously, there's no like black and white. This is how this is
Yeah, there's
right
definitely nuance there. Yeah.
when to pull the trigger. There's no perfect answer. But what goes through your head a little bit? Um,
Um, I've said before that I am a talker. I do love I love
so am I.
conversation and stuff. Like yeah, like we're talkers and stuff. I love being able to role play um with people and stuff. So like as much as like I want to be in the scene as well and stuff, because my brain is just like, I can like make this better or I can add something to the scene and stuff. My brain also like has to like fight with itself and be like, okay, hold on. Give these players their moment. Give these characters an opportunity to have the spotlight And if you have something that can actually enhance like the scene that they're in, like give them something more and stuff, then maybe you can jump in and stuff, or maybe you can do it after and stuff. I'm a big advocate for like doing it after and stuff. Like after their scene has like feels like it's concluded and stuff, I'd be like, hey, so couldn't help but over here. Like just
I think
like
that's a
add that.
really safe way of doing it.
Hmm.
I like that a lot. Um, Now, when it kids on bikes, and we've talked about this before on other episodes, but the adversity tokens are one of the most signifying things about that system. You get a failure, you get to add up this little resource that you can add on future rolls or activate abilities, what have you. Now, I was a little loose as a GM for kids on bikes when it came to giving tokens to your friends, because normally you can't do that on a snap decision. But I allowed it often because I just was like, hey man, if you can describe it, who cares? I think that's fun. It makes sense to me that you would be able to help and do the same action and whatever.
Mhm.
And so I allowed people to spend adversity tokens during snap decisions. So when you're deciding to spend adversity tokens on yourself versus another PC, it's an important resource. It could be the deal breaker of whether you or your friend succeeds.
Mhm.
How much are you going through your head with full character motivation? This is what Caleb would do and prioritize. And how much of it is like mechanical of like, this isn't really worth a 3. This is a group check. I don't really need everybody in the group to succeed. Like, how much of that is going through your head?
um I think when I'm playing, my brain is like full on, what would Caleb do? So
Yeah.
I think my brain is like always just like, hey, we're going to give this, we're going to use our adversity tokens for our friends and stuff. Maybe save one or two for myself, because I had I don't know if it was it a I think it was my jet ski color skill that like if I, or maybe it was just like a regular skill. Like I think if I failed, I would get 2 tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I would get 2 tokens. So my jet ski ability was if I succeed on something, I could give an adversity token to someone else.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
And
like,
that came in clutch.
yeah, yeah, it was a wonderful time. um,
God,
so my brain is always thinking like, what would Caleb do? Once again, Caleb is the guy who helps everyone and stuff, always
that's
trying
true.
his do his best. Um, yeah.
I love that. Taylor, what about you? Because you've played Kids on Bikes a couple of times now. You've
Hmm.
used adversity tokens on
Hmm.
yourself or other people. How much of you is going, this is what my character would spend their adversity tokens, and how much is Taylor going, nah, let's keep them for me?
Um,
Nah.
it depends on the severity of the role, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
it depends on what's going on. I do like to think that I play more to what my character does, but being the power gamer that I am,
It's
sometimes maybe
totally fair.
Not the power gamer.
not.
Totally fair. That's
Yeah,
Taylor's notorious for that.
I have learned to min max a game that doesn't
that
actually
doesn't have
allow.
min-maxing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it, gang. I figured it out. Because
100%.
you have that one move that gives you bonus adversity tokens, but then there's another one that allows you to like when you give an adversity token to an ally, it counts as 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like compound adversity tokens onto each other.
Just like creating a cycle. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Brutal. Like a perpetual adversity.
It is such a skill to be able to min max a game that it was not made in any way, shape, or form for min maxing, like
Exactly.
whatsoever.
It's so funny.
I have a problem.
You know,
In
it's
our
okay.
home game,
It's a skill, Taylor. It is a skill.
it is truly. In our home game, Taylor's character has 3 classes. We're
Cleric,
level
sorcerer,
15.
paladin. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said min max, you are going for.
Yeah.
Bro, I can pull out, I think 100 damage. I think I've pulled out 100 damage as a bonus action before.
As a bonus action,
Yeah, it's rough.
I've
It's
I've
rough.
Level 6 call lightning with quicken spell.
And then the channel divinity
And then the channel
to make it max
divinity.
damage.
And then you hit a bunch of people in a ring. Yeah, I mean, it's
And
not
then you
like
still have
100.
your
It's not
action for your
100 damage
attack.
to one thing, but it is 100 damage
it's
in
smite.
general.
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
my players have only been able to reach 100 something damage after being buffed by like 2 other people and having homebrew things that I've given them because I'm way too nice.
Rules is written, baby. Rules is written. 100
That is
damage bonus action.
terrifying.
Yeah.
I see, Justin. I wanna promote. So you want to be a DM so that my friends see this, but I don't think my players I can see this because that right there, no. Like it's bad enough
That's
they
so
have
funny.
homebrew things that I gave them and stuff. I can't let them have rules as written stuff too.
I know. Trust me. Our content is not nearly as bad as some of the things I've seen out there where people's
Yeah.
like I see the YouTube thumbnails where it's just like how to move 5 miles per turn. You're
Yeah.
like, that's too much movement.
It
That's
always
insane.
starts with be a tabaxi.
I know.
Mhm.
Or the Herringon is like the new one that everyone's breaking. But
Oh my
okay, so
God. Yeah, sorry.
no, it's so good. What, Tommy, do you and Taylor, I'm curious your answer on this too, even though we've done it, I think we've done an episode on this kind of thing, but what do you consider a good player when it comes to TTRPGs?
Mm.
Like the type of players you want at your table, because obviously there's so much nuance and it depends on the style of game you want to play and all of those things, but just
Yeah.
generally speaking.
I think a good player. I don't necessarily think there is like one size fit all good player because everyone's like always different. Every table's gonna be different. But at my table, I like people who are going to do the role play and stuff, like those moments by the fire and stuff. Like I I enjoy being like, all right, you two, role play. I rolled this dice and now it's you two. Go do thing. But I really do love it when like someone's just like, hey, so I want to have this one with your character and stuff. Is that okay? And stuff. Or they just be like, so like I go up to this character, this person, and like they start talking and having their moment and things like that. Or when they start looking for other avenues for a problem instead of the one that is slightly obvious for them to follow in a situation. Because in my home game right now and stuff, they're in a school, and a school for adventuring, and they're everything that I've like given them and stuff, like I've given them a correct way to do things and stuff, but they do not do the correct option whatsoever. um they always go about it like in some weird way, and also they end up they have a lot of nat 20s. um Send help. They have on many occasions found the book that leads them to the library of the world, um that has the stories of every single character, from their beginning to their end and stuff. They have found that book many times, and I said like, yeah, it's rare and stuff. They have rolled so many nat 20s to find that book. At this point, I'm thinking I just need to get rid of the book.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, but like, yeah, those are the type of things that I really enjoy in a party.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pile on a little bit. I think that the collaboration bit is probably the best part, the part that makes a good player, somebody who's good at TTRPGs, is somebody who works well with the group. And that doesn't necessarily mean sorry, I got distracted. That doesn't necessarily
Continue.
mean that you are a yes man for the group. It just means that you are acting as your character would and telling a good story with the rest of the table,
Mm-hmm.
whether
Mm-hmm.
that be antagonistic or in a collaborative way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I do need I do need to get into that more, like give my players more opportunities to be antagonistic to each
Mhm.
other and stuff, because like my I I either do one of two things. I either like leave it up to chance and roll dice, or choose the option that just sounds better inside my head. And I need to stop
Mm,
doing that. I need to like give my players the opportunity to just be like, I like, a couple people may not want this to happen, but others
Mhm.
like others do want this to happen and stuff. And like I just need to like just let it happen instead of like stepping in and stuff. I think that's like the one of the bigger like drawbacks of having an NPC player character, because like you're in the story as well
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Mhm.
stuff.
hmm
I know most people don't do that and stuff, but like whenever my group gets stuck and stuff, that is what he's there for and
Right.
stuff. Yes, I have
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
story for him, but he is there for like, okay, we are actually stuck on a thing. I'm like, cool. He found this.
Yeah, yeah.
I keep thinking there's something on my shoulder. There is nothing on my shoulder. And just
The amount of cat hair in my house, I always think there's something on me. It's I love Jessica so much. Getting a white cat is silly on my part. I did not think that through. Not that it would have necessarily been that much better with other things. But anyway, the last question that we have for this episode, Thomas, is finally, why do you think people should try being a DM?
cool. Oh my God, there's so many reasons to try to be a DM, because it's a very enriching experience. I love um being a DM because I get to tell these fantastic, grandiose stories. I get to collaborate with players to create an even better story and stuff. Because I absolutely love my players. Like they have theories about things, and I'm just like, write that down, write that down.
Oh yeah.
um, but it gives the the opportunity for you to work out not only your problem solving skills and stuff, your story skills, um, and it's a way to just give you a fun time to have like-minded people around your table, to just have fun with you. And I think that's one of like the greatest things about being a DM, um as long as you of course have the right table for you, because I know a wrong table can make you not want to be a
Mhm.
DM. Just
Absolutely.
don't give up,
Oh yeah.
please.
That's so true. Don't give up. It happens. Once the formula is figured out, the scheduling, the composition of players, the alignment in your goals, man, it is freaking beautiful.
Hmm.
Taylor and I have been so like weirdly blessed when it comes to scheduling with our home game. Like, yes, we miss weeks from time to time. A
Mhm.
holiday comes up, an emergency. Sometimes we have to do a what we refer like the buddy cop situation, kind of like because there's three main players. So when one doesn't make it, there's still two players left. So it's like then we just do a buddy cop thing where it's just the two of them on like a out of timeline situation. Like here's something that maybe happened 5 months ago in the game.
Right.
Like just a random adventure, like a sitcom kind of thing, you know?
Oh, that's
It
absolutely fantastic. I've
they're
done that
so
before.
fun. We do like themes. We
Mhm.
recently did a like a Knives
A
Out.
Knives Out game. Yeah.
They were at a fancy dinner and it was a bunch
Oh,
of tieflings and each tiefling was like almost like Clue. There was a
Mhm.
yellow skin tiefling, a purple skin tiefling, a red skin, blue skin, green skin. They all have motives. And then the matriarch of the family, Mrs. White, white skin tiefling, gets killed at
Mhm.
dinner.
Mhm.
We started the whole that whole session started with the interrogation scenes, actually with them interrogating suspects of a crime that they knew was committed, but they haven't even gotten a chance to meet anybody yet or talk to them, even though their characters would have. It was confusing. We tried it out. I use home
But
games
it
to experiment
sounds
ideas.
so good though. I'm also a really huge Knives Out fan. I need to watch the newest Knives Out
Mhm.
that came out.
I enjoyed it. It's a little different, but I liked it.
Okay,
Like, it's just
I'm
paced
gonna have
a
to
little
watch it.
differently, and
Mhm.
the setup is slightly different, but it's still the same, like beating heart. I don't know. I
Yeah, I get
enjoyed
you.
it.
I
It's
get
still
you.
Ryan Johnson, so
Yeah, like you love Ryan Johnson here. Yeah,
Mhm.
I get you entirely. But that sounds like a really fun idea and stuff.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I need to actually try that. I think one time I did a lawyer, not a lawyer thing and stuff. We had a one shot where they had to be lawyers and stuff.
hell yeah,
Which was
Objection!
funny.
it's
It
so
was
fun.
absolutely funny because that's what they did.
Uh-huh.
Like at one point they did objection. Nuh-uh. Like what the fuck you mean? Nuh-uh.
Overruled. Yeah,
Overruled.
we did that also. We did something like that in the home game where it was like, you know how they're called the Sealy Court and the Unsealy Court. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, it's not actually a court like a judge and a jury.
Yeah,
But what if
yeah.
it was? What if it was?
like suspend your disbelief. What if it was?
So what happens is like the players are in this other plane of existence, and all of a sudden they get subpoenaed. Or one of them does. Like one of them gets subpoenaed as a witness to come to this court trial
Mhm.
put on by the Queen of Air and Darkness, the Unseelie Court.
Yeah.
And then a different player, the defense attorney, just doesn't show up.
Mhm.
And so one of the PCs gets picked as the defense attorney and has to defend this man that they're just meeting for the first time. And it was so funny. I brought a friend in to play the Queen of Air and Darkness, like as a guest character, kind of.
Oh,
Man,
that's
it was
great.
a blast. I've been thinking about doing one of the shows that are in the post-production process is called Oops All Healers, and it's a medical drama. And I've now been thinking of how to do a legal procedural show, but making it fantasy. Like just the idea
I'd
of
want to
being
do
like,
that
Your
one.
Honor,
Yeah.
this man stepped in my garden and turned into a tree. Now I got this tree in my yard, but he's living. And you're telling me I can't cut him down because of zoning rules? What is this about? And just like a centaur as like the bailiff. It's just so funny to me.
Mhm.
I'm imagining some guy walking into someone's yard and just be like, "Yeah, this is a good spot."
It had nothing to do with the garden itself. It's just I want to be a
It
tree
gets
now.
good sun. Yeah. And now I'm a tree. I'll see you in 30 years. So fun. Okay. So what a blast it's been. So much fun sitting down and talking with you, Tommy, and catching up again. What an absolute pleasure.
Great.
I'm so glad. So I understand you've brought a sponsor with us today, a sponsor that we may squeeze money out of to pay for our incredible lifestyles.
Yes, I have. Today's sponsor is brought to you by Pocket Dragon. Memory is never a problem with a dragon in your pocket.
I love them.
The pocket
are.
dragon? I love
Yeah.
them.
Little small
Is it a
dragons
living
who-
dragon?
Yes, you pay for them to have to come with you on your journeys, and they memorize everything that you that goes on within the day and stuff. And if you need to recount something, they got it all down for you.
Nice.
Like a stenographer.
Yes, exactly.
Pocket Dragon, read that back. Yes, of course. She said, "You keep my name out of your mouth." So she did
And then
say
he-
that. Thank you, Pocket Dragon. In return.
No more
That's
questions.
fun.
I rest. No, actually, that's all we can get into this time. Thanks for chilling out, everybody. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at So You Want to Be a DM, or you can ask us a question at soyouwanttobeadm@gmail.com. If you like the episode, don't forget to give us 5 stars and a review wherever you found us, and check out the Patreon, the Twitch, and our merch with the link in the description. Join us next time for more Dungeon Master tips and tricks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey gang, it's Justin. I have the honor of giving a shout out to the members of our Patreon gang. Nub Muffins, may Palor's light shine upon you. Marsavies, have you watered your flesh prison lately? Yazvi, the eternal library where color and community await you. Molly Adeza, who gets yet another level up. And there's Elijah, Tappy, and Linguini. Gang, we appreciate and love you. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks from So You Wanna Be a DM.